What's going on, everyone? Gilman with Wellthy Stocks back with our daily Apple update video where we take a look at how Apple stock traded today, some key support and resistance levels that we are looking at moving into the future, and based on that, what we think Apple stock can do. So hope you guys all had an amazing last week of 2020. Happy New Year to all of you guys. Thank you for your continued support. Hoping to grow in 2021 and share that experience with you guys. So thank you so much for everything you guys have done for me with the continued support, and hope you guys all have an amazing 2021. So let's get right into the video. Let me hit record and head over to Apple, and we will start analyzing Apple and how it traded today. Now, one thing that I do want to take a look at here is, actually we'll just do it in the usual order. I was going to take a look at our support and resistance levels, but let's just follow the order we usually do. So we're down about $1 for the day, which is 0.77%, a little bit red on the day, down a little bit more after hours. So this down day was kind of expected, as we talked about yesterday, right? If we see a little bit of a sell-off, we had discussed exactly where we thought that could bounce, and not perfectly, but pretty close to where we had expected it to bounce is where it bounced. We'll take a look at that. And also, it's the last day of the year, so if someone was holding Apple, although that doesn't necessarily apply to Apple, if you are down on a position, you can close that to offset the loss against any capital gains you had, which is why we've seen some swings here and there. Now, the reason for Apple sell-off is, I think, because of how much it has ran, so it needs to kind of take a little breather, pull back a little, which is totally fine. So let's get right into it. Apple is down $1.03, 0.77%. NASDAQ was green, barely green. Dow was up 166 points, which is 0.55%. And S&P was also up 0.51%. Compared to that, Apple was red, so relative weakness there. So let's take a look at how Apple stock traded, right? When we ended the day yesterday, we were right above this level, this mid 133s level. We closed right above it. And we had talked about this, right? We talked about that level is a bounce that we should see yesterday. We saw it bounce there a couple times. So we were expecting another test of that level. Now, I did say that, hey, if we are pulling back, we are not too much higher than that level. So if we do see a decent pullback, we are going to go down potentially to the AEMA. And as we'll see here, that's kind of where we went down. So we went down. As you can see, this level still, what I like seeing is it taking a little bit at the level, right? Because that shows us that the level is still valid. It's taking some time to think around that level. It's taking some time to consolidate around that level. Then we went down here, then we were sideways, then we sold off, and then tried to push up, couldn't quite make it to VWAP. And then we finally made it to VWAP here, and then we kind of came down. I don't know what this up candle was, and then we came right back down, right? So we went from 132 to 133s, came right back down, and then sold, and then kind of ended the day. The one thing that I don't like about today is how below VWAP we were. We didn't have enough strength to kind of go at VWAP. But if you watch my videos, we did talk about this potentially happening, right? We talked about that pullback, the test of this 133.45 one more time, and then potentially even testing the AEMA, because again, we weren't higher enough from the 133.75 for 133.40s, the mid 133 level, for it to actually act as a support if we see a decent sell-off, which we did. Now, what I want to talk about now is, so this is our level, right? This was our candle yesterday, perfectly between the two levels that we had identified the day before. Now, if we take a look at this candle here, what we'll see is on the AEMA, right? Take a look at that. Our low for today was 131.72, and our AEMA was 132.26. So we were about 40-50 cents off where we thought it would stop, or where I said it would stop, and where it actually stopped. But as we see, 132.26, if I go over here and draw a line on 132.26, we'll see that a lot of the times it didn't really go too much below that, or even stayed below that for too long. So great for us there. We kind of knew what it was doing. We were prepared and hopefully able to take advantage of some of that, whether that includes getting into a position or getting out of an older position. Now let's take a look at what we have coming up in terms of if Apple goes up next week, if Apple goes down next week. So if we go up, right, now that we're below this 133.45 level, I personally think that level will hold up as a resistance point, because it acted as a support point previously, right? So if we go back here, it was resistance to us on 1224. We were above it. It acted as a little bit of a support. And now if we push back up in the 133s, I do think that it will act as a resistance once again. Once we get above that, then we have to take out the high of today, which was 134.74, which then takes us to this 136 level, and that takes us to all-time highs. So 4 levels I'm watching out for in the order I'm watching them out, in the order that I am watching, whatever, you know what I'm saying. I'm going to tell you the 4. So 133.45 is the first level, then the high of today, which is 134.74, then it's 135.99, then it's this all-time high number at 138.79, and then it's anyone's guess, right? Because that will be the highest we've ever been for Apple. On the downside, like we saw today, I like that AEMA coming in at 132.26. Now again, similar to today, that's only 40 cents away. So if we see a little bit of a sell-off, that might not be enough to hold, right? That's something we have to keep in mind, is that is a support level. But if we see a sell-off like we have these past couple of days, a little bit of a pullback, then I think we drop to this 129.58, but I do think 130 will be kind of a mental support level as well. So AEMA 132.26, 130s, 129.58. If for some reason we keep going, we've got the 21 EMA at 128.20. I could see us visiting that 130 level, although I am bullish going into January 2021, and I do think that Apple is going to have a run into the earnings coming late in January. The early on in the month, we could see some consolidation and some testing of the supports before we get ready to move right back up. That being said, we have pulled back for a couple days now, so it all comes down to kind of market momentum come Monday. Again, I am bullish. I think it pushes up, but I would not be surprised if we see that 130 level one more time before we kind of start pushing back up. So that's the support and level that I'm watching out for. Again, I think this should have been a monster quarter for Apple, with holiday sales and the 5G iPhone sales, initial pre-orders all kind of put into one, right? As you guys know, and this being the 5G iPhone, which I think is going to cause a lot of people to upgrade more so than they would on just another typical cycle. So that's what I'm looking out for. Let me know down in the comment section what you guys think of Apple, how you guys have done this week. I know this week we've been really on point with our support and resistance levels, and they've held up really nicely. So hope you guys were able to take advantage of that as well. Let me know down in the comment section if you were. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy. Again, Happy New Year, Happy 2021. You guys, thank you for all the continued support. Let's remember to be a bit better every single day. And until next time.